Welcome back to the Arkins Hearth podcast.
A Not Dead Yet production on the RSS network.
Thank you, RSS. Today, I am back as the host. 'Tis I, the Ginger. And...
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh boy, I get superhero music.
Is that what that is?
I guess. I don't know. And this is not only the first episode of Season 2. You made it through a whole season, guys.
Woo!
But this is the first ever dual host episode. Thorin and I did this one together.
Yay! I get to actually do a host thing. By the way, this is Thorin Wolf, owner and owner of Arkins Juice Tavern and Arkins Hearth Gaming. And to my right...
The Pixie... Oh, wait, no. Michael Jason Chandler. Sorry, I forgot who I was there for a minute. I was channeling the Pixie, who we're very much missing this evening. But they are dealing with some work stuff.
Yep.
However, I am Michael Jason Chandler. I am not your host. I am a co-host. So I'm going to sit right here and expect genius from these wonderful hosts.
We've got this.
Especially when there's two of them, so they're like, not even do the whole thing. It better be amazing.
I just read the sentence, the introductions, and it sounds stupid as fuck, so we're not going to do that. Thorin's going to start our episode today.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, you're going to tell us a little bit about cryptozoology, because we're doing our first cryptid episode, and while we clearly know what cryptids are and we care, not everyone does all the time.
Not everybody knows, and not everybody cares.
Maybe both.
Okay.
Not everybody knows what cryptids are or cryptozoology, all that jazz.
Okay,
true.
So I'm going to start this by reading the line that you didn't want to.
No.
Buckle in, settle down, and get your umbrellas, because today we will be talking about the legendary Thunderbird.
Shut up. It was like today when I wrote that.
Wait. I have a question. Why do we need, umbrellas? Does the Thunderbird poop on our head?
That's what I was thinking.
It controls the rain.
Oh, okay. I just figured
It's like
a bird.
It was a play
Oh, wait,
on
no,
words.
can't do that.
Okay. I just figured I just got my head pooped on.
No.
Okay, I'm just asking.
By the way, Ginger, did you drink water today?
Oh, you didn't.
I did.
Why are you lying?
Nobody's
This is about birds.
Yes, birds.
Okay, anyway.
Wait. This is not about seagulls, but I have to mention seagulls real quick on Pixie's behalf, because Pixie loves seagulls.
Will Wood.
And also Weird Al.
Weird Al, Woodward,
Woodward.
Woodward. Okay, we're... So.
I'm so sorry.
I'm just trying to get my hands around.
Stop.
So I can do this. Representation.
Wait, hold on. Jason, stop!
Oh my
god! Channeling Pixie. Okay. So before we get into the Thunderbird, I'd like to go over a little bit about what cryptozoology is. And there's this entire thing written for it, and I'm just going to read little excerpts so it helps me focus. But I actually dabbled a little bit in cryptozoology myself. Cryptids are legendary creatures that may or may not exist. Cryptozoology is exactly that. It's the study of what could be, what might be. I mean, we've discovered fish from 1 million years ago that have absolutely resurfaced in the last decade. I pulled up this thing about a rare common crane that was found in late November 2025 in northern New Mexico, spotted by birders near the Las Vegas National Wildlife Refuge. So, to say that these creatures could not exist, even something as big as a crane, which is a huge bird, it's not out of the realm that we might find something new every day. I've actually gone Bigfoot hunting. I've absolutely chased monsters through the park, quote unquote.
I have to ask, was Bigfoot delicious?
No, he's a little gamey.
A little gamey? That makes sense.
Yeah.
You hate Bigfoot?
No. Anyway, cryptozoology is an investigation of study of animal species whose existence has not yet been scientifically confirmed. It combines careful observation, field research, and historical records. Eyewitness accounts, folklore, mythology, and examination of physical evidence in an effort to determine whether a mysterious creature represents a known species. People might be looking at Bigfoot in the wrong light. People might think that the Thunderbird is a giant eagle. You know what I mean? Like,
So
there's
what you're
just all
saying
sorts
is
of stuff.
Bigfoot's got a good side and a bad side when it comes to pig photos.
Yes, and we always get the
We
bad,
always get the
blurry
bad side.
Yep.
It's all blurry.
Yep.
If you just get the damn right side, he'd look beautiful. Might derailing you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, cryptozoologists may investigate creatures described in ancient myths, indigenous traditions, local legends, or modern sightings, approaching each claim as a question to be investigated rather than automatically accepting or rejecting it at its heart. Cryptozoology is the search for the unknown. With that, I kind of want to explain a little bit about what the Thunderbird in legend is. Classically, the Thunderbird is a giant bird, ranging anywhere from 15 feet to 50 feet in size, often described looking similar to an eagle or a phoenix, usually with glowing eyes and dark feathers. Other people believe that they are akin to the pterodactyl, which we do know existed at one point in time, and this is actually one of Ginger's favorite theories.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. Anyway...
You should enunciate when you say dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
So you can hear it.
I did. Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs is not enunciate.
That's how it goes online. Dinosaurs.
It is said to create thunder with its wings and lightning with its eyes and beak. The Thunderbird's origins are rooted deep in Native American mythology, where it is seen as a spiritual figure of protection, power, and strength.
Which we'll get into more later.
They are seen as guardians for those who honor them. Thunderbirds are depicted all over Native American art and stories.
Cool.
So, Ginger,
Yes, sir.
your turn.
So, I'm going to talk about possible sightings of Thunderbirds, or whatever they saw, but they think it was Thunderbirds. To fit with our Four Corners theme, this was the first one I heard about, which I've always been under the impression Thunderbirds were only from the Southwest. For some reason, that's just what
It doesn't look like it.
That's what I thought, but when I started researching, they are from all over the country.
Oh, absolutely. We looked at this one map where sightings had been noted, and I believe it's in the resources, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. But it was kind of cool to see the timeline and where these things have been sighted.
Yeah. The earliest sighting was in Tucson, Arizona in the 1800s. I believe it was 1880 or 1890. I didn't write it down. Settlers around Tucson started reporting seeing giant birds flying over the desert, and some descriptions said that they looked like lizards with feathers, going back to the pterodactyl thing. Newspapers kind of went crazy with it. I found several pictures of quote-unquote newspapers from the time that were probably fake, but a lot of them did have pictures of pterodactyls versus, the eagle style of Thunderbird. And then again in the 70s and 80s, there were more sightings and footprints in Tucson as well. The sightings there were some hikers on the mountain, and they were like, whoa, that bird's way too big. And basically, they scared everyone. They were like, whoa, it's a Thunderbird. No way. There was no pictures or anything that I could find. But then, after the Tucson sightings in the 70s and 80s, in 1975 and 1976, there were 4 potential sightings around San Antonio, Texas. I know it's not the Four Corners, but it's still the Southwest. That's why I put it in here. So the first one, I believe, was in December. I couldn't find a clear date. It just said the end of 1975 in both of the articles I read. So if Jason has magic research powers and can find the exact date, the articles I read didn't have
the
them.
exact date of when it was first seen?
In San Antonio, Texas in
Okay.
1975.
I don't know if you guys can hear, but all I can hear is the clickety-clackety of Jason's laptop right now.
It's fine.
Sorry.
No, it's great. I like
It's
it.
aesthetically pleasing.
Nah.
Yes.
I'm glad I can be aesthetically.
They make keyboards that are for that exact purpose.
I love keyboard clickies. Anyway, so while Jason's looking it up, late 1975, the first potential sighting in San Antonio was when 2 police officers saw a huge bird fly over their cars. They said it had a 10-foot wingspan. It was explained away as a pelican. I looked up. Pelicans can be that big. I didn't realize how giant pelicans are. That's scary now.
Yes, you said you hate them now.
I was already a little bit scared of them because I grew up watching Nemo and the pelicans ate the fish. And
Mine?
Those are seagulls.
I love seagulls. Sorry.
Anyway, Thorin also loves seagulls.
No, I don't.
Pixie.
No, I don't.
Seagulls are Thorin's favorite.
Delicious.
Everyone send Thorin seagulls.
No, please don't. They're
It's okay, Pixie will
flying trash birds.
That is what I refer
They're
to them as.
flying
well.
raccoons. They are trash birds.
One time when I was a kid, we were at a pier
Oh, yeah.
in
The
somewhere by New York somewhere. We were on a trip to New York, but I think we went to other places. Anyway, we were on a pier, and a seagull pooped on me and then laughed at me and flew away.
Yeah, that sounds like a seagull.
It was very
They're
weird.
jerks.
I'm rabbit trailing so bad.
That's fine.
So just so you know, 1975 San Antonio Thunderbird sighting, exact times. So it was either 75 or 76, and they're not actually sure. There's two different potential seeing
Well, because
sightings.
I have 4 different
Seeing.
ones from 4 different people.
Oh, but wait. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Possible. From San Antonio to the Rio Grande Valley. No reliable, verified exact times. That's the thing, is that people kind of said it, but they were not verified. But we've got late 75, where 2 police deputies saw it.
Yep, that's the one I was talking
Yeah.
about. So I'm assuming somewhere
'Cause I
in
remember-
like October to December range because it said late 75.
Yep, and then there's 1976, teenage girls.
I'm about to
Tracy
say that
Lawson,
one.
you got those?
Yep.
76, Brownsville.
Yep, I got that one.
Okay.
I got
76, Raymondville.
got that one.
Got that one?
76, Brownsville.
Yes.
And then 76 near Poteet.
Never heard of Poteet.
2 soldiers had a sighting on a ranch, but again, never.
Well, that
exact.
wasn't on the map.
That was on the map. But I did go over the map with you the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you're about to talk about a bunch of different sightings, and I have theory.
Okay.
But I'll go with my theory here in a little bit.
Well, let me finish my San Antonio real quick, and then your theory will be brought up.
Okay.
Since we don't have an exact date. The articles I read did say it was like a month later that the 2 teenage girls had their sighting. They claimed they saw a huge, scary bird watching them in their yard. They described it as about 5 feet tall, and their parents did go to investigate the next day, and they said they did find giant 3-toed tracks.
Which
So,
I looked up the tracks. They're huge.
yeah.
Like, they used hand for a reference, and this thing is twice as big as my hand, which I have not tiny, dainty hands.
And then about a week after that, the man in Brownsville heard something hit his house. He went out to investigate, and he said he found, and this is a quote from him, a bird, but not a bird, like something from another planet. So that could be going back to pterodactyls. Just saying. Just
Yeah,
saying.
totally.
Because if it didn't look like a bird, if it looked like a bird, pterodactyl looks like
An
a bird from
alien
another
bird?
planet. It's pterodactyl.
Okay.
Dinosaur. You know, maybe, here's a theory, maybe there is a Jurassic Park in real life that we don't know about yet, and maybe it's been going since Jurassic Park came out, and it got pterodactyl that got loose.
Right,
and,
the
you know?
famous movie Jurassic Park, made way before 1975.
What?
These are back in
Yeah,
1976.
maybe Jurassic Park is based off of something from the 50s. We
knows?
talked about, listen, I'm going to sound like a crackhead, but it's okay because I like dinosaurs, okay? Listen.
I would actually say crank, but go ahead.
Crankhead?
Listen, maybe Jurassic Park. I don't actually believe this. Maybe Jurassic Park was based off of a 50s experiment that actually happened on a random island that nobody's ever gone to but the top secret people. Maybe that's what the Bermuda Triangle is. Maybe it's a Jurassic Park. And maybe when their pterodactyls got loose and is all these sightings in the 70s.
You do realize that a Jurassic Park is not a natural phenomena, right?
Maybe I just wanted to talk about...
Phenomena. Phenomena.
That was for Ginger's sister.
Maybe I just wanted to talk about dinosaurs. for a second.
Apparently, and Jurassic Park,
I
apparently.
like Jurassic Park.
Okay, well, may you one day accidentally find a Jurassic Park somewhere.
I would thrive. I'd
In the
probably
land of
die.
the Lost?
So quickly.
I would just...
That land of the lost. You're going to the
just make
center of the
friends.
earth.
What? I don't want to.
Have you never seen that?
No.
Oh my gosh.
You go. So they find a tunnel to the center of the Earth, and there
And
in
there's
the
dinosaurs
center
in
is like another Earth. It's an ancient-looking Earth, and dinosaurs and the like.
Oh my god, dinosaurs.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. We have to introduce this to Ginger.
So, yeah. Didn't they have a movie not too long ago?
Yeah.
With,
They had a lot of things.
Brendan Fraser.
There was the 1970s show.
Oh yeah. I watched that when I was a kid.
Yeah. And then there was like a movie in the 80s, and then they revamped it and did it in the 2000s. Yeah, there's like been a lot of Land of the Lost stuff going on. It was cool. You should check it out.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm also a little delirious from my lack of sleep, so...
It seems like if you're hosting, like I feel relatively rested.
I don't.
Same.
It's funny. I think when you are the primary host, you must the primary requirement is that you don't sleep.
Oh God, we're cursed.
Thank you for taking that from me for a week.
So anyway, if I have any more crazy ramblings about dinosaurs, you know why it's happening. So then after the dinosaur bird, a week after that, and the other Bill that I didn't write down.
Raymondville.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Now I'm ready
So
for
the next one
sentence.
you're going to talk about is the 1976, January 14th, by the way. This one does have a date. January 14th, 1976 in Raymondville?
Yes.
Okay. This is the sisters, right?
Nope.
Oh.
There was two in Raymondville. So about a week after them, there was a man in Raymondville sitting outside, smoking a cigarette, just hanging out, and he heard the sound of wings flapping above him, and he got attacked from above. And his clothes were shredded by claws. The article I read said that he didn't see what attacked him, but because he heard the sound of wings, and they were big rips, I guess. They said it was a Thunderbird because of the size and the sound. But after all of those, it just kind of disappeared. I know there were a couple more that Jason found that I didn't find, but it just stopped showing up in Texas after that. Now...
Well, and actually, they actually had a name for it. Hold on. Because I want to just since you made me look. So there was a thing in the 70s, or the early to mid 70s, there was something called the Big Bird Phenomena in Texas. That's what all this is. Phenomena. Da, da, da. Phenomena. Big Bird Phenomena. Big Bird Phenomena.
Squeak, I'm going to kick your ass.
Anyways... But yeah, and that was the Big Bird phenomenon, and it ended in January 18th, 1976 with the two soldiers. I just wanted to say, because that's cool.
Because the soldiers weren't in any of the articles I read. I feel like it's because they were farther away, potentially. I'm not sure.
So
I don't know how
still
far
in
they
Texas.
were from San Antonio, because the one I was reading was from the San Antonio newspaper.
Poteet is where it is. The exact time of the Poteet encounter is not recorded, but is part of the cluster of sightings. Witness described a bird having a strange, almost alien appearance, and with features that defied normal avian anatomy. Soldiers' account, like others, contributed to the growing public fascination, and the media covered the monster bird. That was what they coined it. But this was the actual kind of the end. This was the last one. That's why I think it's cool, because it happened kind of a little bit later than the other ones, and it peaked right there. That was its peak, and then after this, it sort of fades away.
Yep.
So Ginger and I have two different theories about this bird.
I just wanted to talk about dinosaurs. I don't actually think the Thunderbird's a pterodactyl.
I do think it is a different species of bird.
I do. I just don't think it's a pterodactyl.
I don't think it's a pterodactyl either, but it might not be that far off.
Can I honestly... okay. So, I'm a skeptic. You guys know I'm not that into cryptids. I'm not against them, but...
You didn't want us doing cryptids in the podcast.
No, that's not true. That's never
I know,
true.
I was joking.
It's just I'm not a big...
He's like, we're a murder podcast, and we have to talk about bad things all the time.
Screw you. Listen to my next episode, and you'll realize that's not true.
Okay.
I'm actually really looking forward to it. It's conspiracy theories. But anyways, so, I'm a skeptic. And I mean, it's not, but I also study and follow a lot of science. And no, like I told you, there was a new monkey with like a different colored lips discovered like a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
They do discover species that no one's seen before all the time.
Like I talked about the crane.
Yeah, the world's a big place, man.
Yeah.
So as much as I am skeptical as hell about cryptids, I also recognize that we find new species all the time. So to caveat that, we know after the destruction of the dinosaurs, basically, if you were able to go into caves and hide and live off of seeds, you might survive. The only species that survived the destruction of the dinosaurs were species that could basically crawl in to holes in the ground, hide and eat seeds, because that's all there was.
Right.
So knowing that scientifically, the idea that because birds are relatives to dinosaurs, and we know that the last existing remnants of dinosaurs are predominantly birds.
Chickens were your T-Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, scientifically, from that perspective, I'm less skeptical about this if it's a dinosaur. Because some sort of leftover or evolved dinosaur creature that managed to survive in the caves eating seeds is far more believable to me than a lot of other arguments, is all I'm saying.
Congratulations, Jason. You are now a cryptozoologist.
Take that back. No,
Nope.
I'm joking.
Nope.
I don't mind. No.
You need a bigger fedora, and it needs to be made of leather now.
I have a bigger fedora, and it is made of leather. But I'm just saying, that's the scientific mind. If you're going to actually listen to, for me, as a skeptic, if you're going to look at cryptids logically, and I have no problem with cryptozoologists who look at cryptids scientifically. They are willing to be skeptical and make these arguments. And so when I read, because you talked about this, I read a little bit ahead. When I read the possibility of there being a dinosaur connection, quote unquote, not only did I know you were going to squeal like a schoolgirl at the idea of dinosaurs. Which you did. But I also knew, I was actually talking to Ginger. I thought you were going to squeal like a schoolgirl.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
But anyways, no. But I mean, speaking as somebody who didn't do the script this time, but I was, in my mind, I was reading about it, and that's what I was looking for, is what is the real scientific, and I'm not saying there's proof of this. Of course not. It's cryptid. But that's believable to me. That something that could have evolved and gotten larger, maybe it was smaller in the time of dinosaurs, it crawled into a hole, it ate seeds, it survived.
Got smaller.
It got smaller or was smaller, and then once the world began to heal, about 150 years after the impact.
Sure.
I said started,
Yeah.
It eventually emerged, but it was a seed eater. It could continue to eat seed. There was a whole era where nothing but... I'm trying to remember what plant it was, the first one after, because they've actually...
Was it the fern?
Yes, ferns.
Yeah.
When the world was covered in ferns, this is a creature that could eat ferns, or fern seeds, or things like,
Yeah.
That is believable to me. Something that could, because that happened. We know that happened.
Well, there's a rumor that every grandmother's house has this hanging plant, and it is a vine. Apparently... according to legend, they're all the same plant. They just spread out everywhere, and then that's why you can repopulate.
The philodendron?
Yeah, the philodendron.
I also have one of those
Yeah,
plants.
your philodendron and my philodendron are apparently just clones of each other.
Huh?
Yeah, that's what
But you've heard, yeah.
That I've heard. I mean, I'd have to do a little more research, but I like to think that's kind of cool and something real.
But no, I'm just saying, we know that creatures from the age of the dinosaurs, we know they survived that way.
Mm-hmm.
We know they're birds. We know they had to evolve. They had to eat seeds, all of that. If you're going to have a Thunderbird, which I'm not saying they exist. What I'm saying is, if they were to exist, that's how. What else? So when you make the argument, when you talk about dinosaurs, what else could it be?
Jason, would you do me a favor, since you are on the
interwebs
and you're really fast at it? Look up the Argentavius.
Am I allowed to keep talking?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Look it up.
I am so sorry, Arkins.
No, you're good. You're good.
We only thought we were going to shut Jason up.
No, you didn't.
Listen, you were saying that, and I knew we weren't going to. So.
I'm just kidding, Jason. We love you.
Anyway.
You know what? Y'all talk on me and go on some weird ass trips.
Yeah.
I'm staying on task, man. I'm staying on task.
Listen, I said pterodactyl as part of the script. Therefore, my Jurassic Park rant was on theme. Anyway.
No, and I'm with you. I'm actually very much with you.
I'm not hating it.
So what do you want me to say about the Argentavius?
How big it was.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like this is my theory and my fight.
So going back, while he's looking that up, going back to the cryptid map. When we were looking at the cryptid map and the sightings and everything, and that's how we found the Texas sightings, we started noticing a trend as we were looking at it. The first sightings in the 70s were in Arizona, and then there were all those sightings in Texas in 75 and 76. And then suddenly we were looking, and in 1977, there was like 4 or 5 more sightings in Illinois. And I didn't read up on them because it's not the Southwest. I'm trying to stay in our area.
You know, we can go out, and I want to point out that if we're doing a script and we try very honestly to stay in the Southwest, but it goes out, hey, that happens.
Well, so...
I would just say Neil Crane.
It's also all over, like, Pennsylvania. There were a few sightings in
Alaska.
You know, like...
Yeah,
some
it
of
was
those
everywhere.
There was a gap between those sightings. In 1977, there was a cluster of sightings and like a couple attacks in
But
Illinois.
now we're talking 1980s.
Right.
No, it skipped to the 90s and early 2000s. That's when
I thought we did find one in the 80s.
There was one.
But that's still a sighting.
But it was the Tucson one.
That's fine.
That's Arizona.
Yeah.
I know, but we already talked about that one.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm moving on to the other ones.
So the Argentavius, by the way, is one of the largest birds that has ever existed. Believed to be no longer in existence.
Yep. Believed to be. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh my God, Squeak, I'm going to kick you.
But apparently it had a wingspan of 5 to 7 meters, or for us Americans, 16 to 23 feet long.
And this is why I believe it could have been an actual bird. But it wouldn't look like a normal bird. The Argentavius is actually a descendant from what we call vultures and condors, and
I'm looking at like possible look at what it might have looked like, and that's
pretty close, pretty damn close. Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, it looks like a vulture.
Yeah,
like a giant freaking human-sized vulture, which is terrifying.
Why not? But anyway, when I was a kid, how do I put this? I had just moved into Farmington from Aztec, where I live now. Well, I mean, like I live in Farmington now. Well, but like we moved to where I live now in like 97. So 97, 98, I'm a kid in my front yard playing. I'm right underneath the bluffs over by Bullock's Ranch. And I'm probably playing Joe. I'm probably playing G.I. Joe. No, I'm probably playing Power Rangers.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I forgot our age difference.
Yep.
It's okay.
Got you. But I'm looking up and I'm like, oh, that bird looks weird, but it had feathers, but it looked weird. It had a longer neck, and it just wasn't right. But I was like, oh, but it's a tiny bird. It's like maybe it's sick or something. And then it disappeared behind the bluffs. And the perspective of that in my brain when I was a child did not sit right with me. That thing had to have been huge. Like big. Whether or not I'm remembering it right or not, that's why I really wanted to help you with this particular one. Or I think I came up with like, hey, let's do Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
It's because of that memory. And it's one of the only childhood memories I really held on to. Because, brain damage from motorcycle accidents and stuff like that. And repression and blah, 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 and all this other stuff.
But you've held on to some other stuff.
But I've held on to that. And it was a really big... It wasn't a big thing. It was just something that stuck in my mind. I never really talked about it. I told my mom. I told my grandparents. But that was about it. But coming off of that, that's my experience. That was actually part of the script. But coming off of that is my theory time. So when we looked at the Texas to Illinois, Ginger and I absolutely found that it was heading east between the timelines and where it was. And it was heading east and then moving up north.
Because after Illinois, it was Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
That had a
and
big
then from
cluster.
Pennsylvania was the East Coast somewhere. I can't remember exactly where.
It went up to Canada, and there was one sighting there. And then the Alaska ones were in, 2020.
Yeah, so I'm saying is, it's migrating. This is a migration. That's what do birds do in the winter?
Hang out in Texas, apparently.
I was going to say, well, I mean, in Texas would be warmer. They might have been going towards the equator.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or it's December or something we said?
Yeah, it was December and January.
So yeah, they're heading up north
what bird
because
did you
it's
say
about
they look like? I'm sorry. They look
Argentavius?
like- yeah. They look like what again?
Argentavius?
What do they look like?
Vultures.
Oh, vultures. Yeah.
Okay.
Or condors. Which
Condors?
those are in the same family too.
Not to interrupt, but
No.
the Illinois ones were in June
Oh.
when it would have been warmer. Well, and June and July when it would have been warmer in Illinois.
Okay, so did that throw out our theory of migration?
No, because they travel to where it's warm.
Yeah.
Just so you know, a condor can have a 10-foot wingspan.
Right.
I mean, they're not teensy. And they're not as big as the Argentinius or whatever.
Argentavius?
Yeah, Argentavius. But, I mean, they're huge. They can be pretty big. Up to 10-foot wingspan for the Andean condor, and the California condor can get up to almost 10 feet. They're not small.
No.
As it is. I'm just saying, like, if you saw a really big condor, honestly, your kid, you see something with a 10-foot wingspan. That's huge.
Absolutely.
You could definitely have seen it. I'm not saying that you didn't see a Thunderbird. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that the definition of what you might have seen could have been a giant condor.
The fact that I'd never heard of a Thunderbird,
Right.
I didn't think of a thunder like it was a Thunderbird because I didn't know what a Thunderbird was.
Exactly.
I was 8 years old. I just moved to Farmington.
Well, and you've also got to keep in mind, okay, so you've got these condors, they're pretty big.
Yes.
10 foot wingspan. Mutants happen. Like, mutation happens in the natural world. You could have a condor or a creature that is much larger than its other brethren. And it could be a mutation. Mutations like that are often carried in certain genetic, in genes and families. So you could have a bird, any really large bird, where there's a mutation that they're a lot larger than their cohorts, and it shows up every 100 generations or every 10 generations or every 3. Doesn't matter. But these are dominant recessive genes. So it's a recessive gene, pops up every once in a while. You get a really big freaking condor, and people say, oh my God, a Thunderbird. And it may not even be anything different. It's just a genetic variation that makes a much larger condor.
Cool. So now, let's go back. Let's go a little bit deeper into the Thunderbird's origins in the actual mythology.
Okay.
Because to some people, the Thunderbird is a mysterious cryptid that we gotta find. But to Native Americans, it's a very sacred being. Thunderbirds are part of several different tribes' mythology, some of which are the Sioux,
Algonquin.
and one that I don't know how to say. Ojibwe? No, but
I think Algonquin and Ojibwe.
that's what I thought it was.
Ojibwe?
See, and I saw when I was researching and I read that, I know a lot of the tribes' names. I learned a lot about Native American tribes when I was a kid. I've never heard of that one. Okay.
It's Ojibwe.
Looking at the map, you'll see that Thunderbirds are not only a southwestern myth when you look at where those tribes are from, but they're in fact just across the entire United States. The Sioux are in several different places in the U.S., and they take up very big parts of the U.S. The Ojibwe wasn't as big of a space, but it was still a decent little chunk. I believe, I could be wrong, they're from Canada. The Thunderbird is also a Canadian myth.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, the Sioux are, North Dakota, South Dakota, Canada?
Well, and the Southwest and
Yeah.
East Coast parts of it and
Okay.
Washington, they're kind of all over. They are an enormous tribe. But there's also subsections of the Sioux tribe, I believe.
I believe the Navajo also have legends about the Thunderbirds.
Absolutely. In fact, there's a whole legend behind Sheprock in a Thunderbird.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I didn't put all the tribes because it would have been a much longer list.
Right, I'm just saying
put the bigger
it's
tribes.
not uncommon at all.
They all have slightly different stories and slightly different tales of the Thunderbird, but they all have a few things in common. The Thunderbird is directly connected to the weather, and it can bring good rain as a blessing to the people it's protecting, or it can bring destructive storms as a punishment in some of the tales. It's more a spiritual being than a physical being. Cryptozoologists will go out of their way to look for a physical subject.
You want to find
And
something, yeah.
to the Native American people, it's a spiritual protector. Very powerful. In some of the stories, it's portrayed fighting serpents of the deep or cats to protect the people of Earth, because a lot of the stories involve conflict between the sky and the water, similar to Greek myths and Indian myths that I've read in the past. But yeah, it's a very sacred being. If you're not part of the Native American community, if you're an outsider, you're not actually allowed to know the full lore of the Thunderbird.
It's personal. It's private. Yeah.
But there are many petroglyphs and paintings from throughout history portraying many different styles of the Thunderbird.
Right.
Yes.
So throughout at least North American history, in Canada, everywhere, saying all these North American tribes have absolutely seen or portrayed something about the Thunderbird over thousands of years should absolutely put into the consideration of a giant bird that was a dinosaur,
Possibly.
or still is, or still around.
More than likely. I mean, if it's a bird, it was a dinosaur. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a bird, it was a dinosaur.
I will put on my skeptic hat, and then a little bit I'll take it off.
Okay.
My skeptic hat is, I love myths and legends, but they have a tendency to have very long lives. A legend that was started in 1 BC might evolve and become a religious myth, a cultural myth. So I'm not saying that they're not seeing a Thunderbird, but the Thunderbird, as Ginger was saying, to a lot of people, it's more of a spiritual thing. It's not something you physically see. It's not an actual creature. It's a spirit. It's a part of their beliefs. And when a legend like that exists, remember that tribes intermix. They marry. They share culture over very long periods of time. And so my skeptic hat says that a legend can be carried through marriage and through union for long periods of time. And so it's not that everybody's seen a Thunderbird, it's that everybody inherits the story.
Okay, Jason, now tell me about your non-skeptical.
Well, I mean, so the skeptical side, of course, is legend and myth. But if I'm not being skeptical, if there's one thing that I think could be a cryptid that's never found, we'll see it because it's out there in the world sometimes. It's there, but it's a flying bird. It's fast. It's in the sky. It's higher. It's probably gone quick. Into the clouds, gone. And that's the thing. A creature that can fly with that level of power, huge wingspan.
50-foot wingspan is crazy.
If it's that big and it's a bird, it can go places that are not easy for humans to get to. Mountains that are, they can go into the highest of mountains. They can go in places that you have to be a skilled climber to get there. And there's nothing to say that when you get close to getting there, it's not going to know you're there and fly away.
Not to mention, we already have bald eagles that can absolutely take down a deer. Not a mule deer like here, but I mean like
a white-tailed deer?
Like a white-tailed deer.
Right. I'm just saying, I've always felt like if there's going to be real cryptids, I've always felt that birds were probably one of the most likely things to be able to hide. That and deep jungle creatures, obviously.
Does that mean you believe Mothman could be more real than other things because he flies?
No.
Dang it.
Mothman is a very fun creature. I actually like people who think that Mothman is like some representation, some spirit thing that comes out.
Warning you about death and
warning
destruction.
you about some destruction. I actually dig that as like almost a spiritual component. I will buy that as like a spirit fighting death or warning you of death. I will buy that way before I will buy its actual physical existence.
Wait, what if he's warning you of death? What was he doing stealing the catalytic converters?
Excuse me, everything's got to eat. I don't know, it's a cryptid. Jesus.
Some people would say maybe Mothman might be some sort of angel. You know what I mean?
A catalytic converter eating.
You never thought about that, did you?
I did not.
You're welcome. Anyway.
I just really like Mothman.
I'm
He
kind of
will
like
be
an angel.
Mothman will be covered on Patreon
Of
Heard.
course.
Let's
Oh,
do
yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
because between Pixie and I, we love Mothman so much. You're gonna get sick of us. But
Okay. Wait, did we?
I finished the Native American mythology.
Okay.
So we're good on that.
Yes.
Like I said, they're considered so sacred. There's not a lot of lore out there for us to know because we're not part of that culture.
Of course.
So
if
I-
somebody
Of
in
course.
that culture wanted to email us,
And they won't because we're not allowed to know.
well, listen.
There may be more that we are allowed to know that just wasn't in any of the things I read, but I gave you the general rundown of what it meant to
We are absolutely not here to make fun of any culture
No.
or any belief system whatsoever.
I think Thunderbirds are sick, and I think they make very good sacred beings.
And they seem pretty healthy to me.
I knew that was coming.
Thanks, Jason.
Here for the dad jokes.
I know.
That should be one
You've
of our
affected one of the
t-shirts.
people I work with. Who also has started making dad jokes because of you.
Oh, well, hey. Shout out to my dad joke brother. All I can say is I met an amazing scarecrow. He won some awards. You know why? He was outstanding in his
Oh
field.
my god.
Huh?
Okay, good night, everybody.
We're not done yet.
Oh, okay.
Stop it.
So we've talked about a few potential
Birds.
explanations for what people could be
Birds.
seeing.
You're talking about birds.
He's not wrong. His whole list is birds and planes.
And pterodactyls.
And pterodactyls.
Oh, well, it's not on the list.
I didn't put it on the list because I wasn't going to lean so heavily into the dinosaurs, and then I got too excited about dinosaurs.
Well, and I kind of got excited about dinosaurs,
Well,
too.
then Jason
And
got excited about
technically-
dinosaurs, and then I was like, wait a minute, it could be a dinosaur, so...
My theory is dinosaur as well, and
That's true.
you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Your theory is just a less pterodactyl-y dinosaur. It's a more vulture-y dinosaur.
And I mean, and sometimes it's just somebody who's exercised too much and they're dining. They're dining swords.
Stop. Jason. I'm going to crash out.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So, already mentioned in the article that I read about the Texas cops, they explained it away as a pelican. Pelicans are huge and scary. Totally could have been a pelican in that
Could have been a
case.
pelican in that case.
Eagles can get big. Not as big as like 5 feet tall.
No.
Usually, unless there's an anomaly like Jason was talking about.
But they can take out deer.
They can take out deer. They can look bigger. If you're scared of something, especially, if you're like, that looks really weird, you're freaking yourself out. We've talked about it before where your brain likes to see things in the dark, likes to make things out of nothing when you can't tell what's there.
Absolutely.
You know, so...
And when you take out a deer, do you dress up?
So anyway, where's the button to mute him? I have the board in front of me. I'll find it one of
We
these
need to get a
days.
sign that says no dad jokes allowed.
I will ignore that.
Yeah, I would too. I make dad jokes sometimes too. Another option is condors. There are the two different types that Jason talked about when he Googled it. He stole my thunder. I had it
He
written
stole your
down.
Thunderbird?
I stole your Thunderbird.
You're
I
welcome.
stole your
I'm
I
sorry.
brought that one up
Oh
myself.
no,
I
it's
wa-
getting to me.
I walked into
It's
that
because
one.
I'm turning 40.
I walked into that one, right into it. Anyway, I was going to talk about the sizes of the condors. Jason already told us a little bit about that. Another one, for specifically the Texas one, that there's a very slim possibility that this could be a thing that they saw, is an albatross. They don't live in Texas. They live on islands.
They have rarely been seen, though.
Sometimes they have shown up in Texas.
I'm just saying, Texas has a shore.
And albatrosses have 12-foot wingspans, which is as close to any of the reported 15-foot wingspans that we have on this list.
Right. But I don't think we're going to find one in Illinois.
No, I'm not saying Illinois could be albatrosses, but I am saying the Texas one, there could have been an albatross. It's a possibility. That's why it's possible explanations. I don't know for sure. I wasn't there. I wasn't even born yet. It was 75. My dad was barely born.
That's I think that's when Jason graduated high school.
I was born in 78. I graduated in 97. Shut up.
And the one thing on this list, I absolutely disagree with.
I'm just saying, listen, I put planes on here because...
Planes. They belong at the station.
Yeah, the plane station. Shout out to Pixie. I'm just saying, if it was a more, like, distant sighting, we didn't talk about any distant ones, but if it was a more
Mine
distant...
was a distant one.
Yeah, but yours, you said it looked just like a bird.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It was.
Like, it was big
absolutely a
enough
bird.
you could see it was a bird.
Well, and I do want to say with the condors,
Yes.
just so that you know, there were 6 members in the 1970s.
I can't escape it.
You asked how many. There were 6 members.
So this has been the Arkins Hearth.
Stop it!
Now, before we end this, I have a few fun facts about pop culture references. Lauren, do you want to read the first one?
Yeah, because it was so funny. So before we started to record, Ginger comes up to me and says, "Did you know Zapdos is based on the Thunderbird?"
Shut up! It was an aha moment. Okay?
And my friend Sam, she said, like, what? The Thunderbird in Pokemon's is based on the Thunderbird in real life?
Really mean to me because I've only had 5 hours of sleep.
It was great.
I was bullied.
See, and if Sam listens, then she's going to know that I said, you know, I
We
gave
love
her
you,
the
Sam.
credit.
And that you called Sam a bully. That's bold.
I love you, Sam. Thorin did the bullying.
I didn't do any
That's true.
bullying.
That's true.
Okay, okay.
There are several X-Men characters called Thunderbird. I don't know who they are. I need to catch up on the comics.
So Thunderbird was one of the New Mutants from the X-Men comics after the Wolverine Storm run. He was one of the students, and he actually died. The second Thunderbird was his brother. Both of them had super strength, and they were Native American. And I believe the second one ended up joining with Cable in the X-Force, but I'm not sure. It's been a number of years since I read those comics.
So I have to let you know that Jason and his brother won the the Marvel trivia
And Star Trek.
and Star Wars.
I would
Star
win
Wars
Star Trek.
and blah blah blah. blah.
If I was
Bring
there,
it.
I would have won.
Like
I would have
we
beat
did.
Jason and
We
his
do a
brother
lot
in
of
Star
things
Trek.
at Arkins Juice Tavern.
Bring
and
back
Arkins
Star
Hearth.
Trek trivia. I will beat Jason.
You might think that, but remember, I watched it when it was new.
I'm rewatching it again for the 20th time. I have the
Me
DVD
too.
box sets.
Which one? Original series?
Right
Next
now, I'm watching
Generation?
the original
Okay,
because I'm trying to show Justin.
You ever watch the
first.
cartoon?
I mean,
There's
I'm
a
trying to show
Ford.
Goose for the first time.
There's a Ford
Well,
vehicle.
hold on. We're talking about Star Trek. You can't take this away from us. I have not seen the cartoon, so you got me there. But
Pterodactyl.
no pterodactyl. Just let me talk about Star Trek. I love Star Trek. If
So do
any
I.
of you want to send me fan mail, I will take Star Trek magic cards, even if their designs are terrible.
No, I'm a huge
Okay.
Star Trek fan. I'm a huge Trekker. You call it all. I love Kirk. I love Picard.
Same.
I don't think that, you ask me which one's better. I will go into a 3-hour conversation
Same.
about how they're not better. They're just different.
Yeah. My favorite movie from the original series movies, this is going to be so basic, is the one with the whales.
That would
I
be
love
Star
it.
Trek 4.
Yes, I know.
Dear. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
telling people
At
that
least tell them.
Fine.
Wait, is it-
My favorite one is Star Trek 4. I was telling the people about the whales because not everyone knows it's the 4th movie. I brought it up at work, and my coworker was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "The one with the whales."
So is it the even number or the odd number Star Trek
The
movies?
even numbers are generally considered better than the odd, though
Okay.
it depends, because I like the motion picture, the first one.
Yeah, me too.
And I like Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan is my favorite.
Well, that's an even
It's a good
number,
one.
so of course.
Right. But I'll admit, the third one, which was The Search for Spock, I love it. I do know that a lot of people had issues with it, but hey, Christopher Lloyd is a Klingon. Heck yeah.
Yeah, he played a good
What's
Klingon too.
awesome is that, did you know that Christopher Lloyd plays the Klingon commander in Star Trek 3?
Okay.
And it's his ship that Kirk takes back in time in Star Trek 4.
For the whales!
So Klingon Doc Brown's ship is used as a
Oh
time
my
machine.
gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Star Trek 4.
Okay, that's
And
kind
then
of
in
cool.
Star Trek 4, Spock took too much LDS, and it was really fun.
LDS or LSD?
No.
Well,
He said
that's the
LDS.
joke. That's the joke. As he goes, oh, he did a little bit too much LDS in the 60s.
Which is
Okay.
funny, because in the 60s, you know what Leonard Nimoy did? He released a song about Bilbo Baggins, and
He
it's
did.
wacky,
He did.
but I love it.
He
He
did
did.
indeed.
I love it.
Yes.
It is so good.
I'm a big.
Did you ever watch the Star Wars Christmas special?
Oh, I have seen it. Almost
yeah.
certainly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my.
My dad was a Trekkie, and so while I did watch the Star Wars movies growing up, we didn't watch any of the extra stuff.
So is this?
Well, there
is this
wasn't
where
a lot of extra stuff. I mean, I guess
There
when
was
you were
like
young,
the Clone
there was.
Wars. There was.
Never mind. I forgot how young you are. When I was a
Jason's
kid,
old.
when I was a kid, there was the first 3 movies, and then they had like the Ewok adventure movies, and then they had the Droid TV show, the cartoon, and that was it. And like but they had the Christmas special, but it was like banned for years.
Yeah, you couldn't find it. I don't even know why it was banned.
Because it's awful. I love
don't know.
it, but it's awful.
What was it? Earth Day? No, wait. What was it? What were they celebrating?
It was not Earth Day. Now you've thrown me off. I won't be able to remember it.
Well, it wasn't Christmas. They weren't celebrating.
Yeah,
Christmas.
no, it was, but it was a festival.
Christmas, yeah.
They were on Kashyyyk, and they go to Kashyyyk is Chewbacca's homeworld.
Yes.
And
you meet the entire family.
You meet the whole family.
I know about the Christmas
really
special.
super,
I just never watched it.
Well, and Luke
And then the
Scott-
first cartoon
and
about
Mark Hamill is wearing way too much makeup.
No. Well, yes, the first cartoon where you meet Boba Fett.
Yeah. It's the first.
Well, when I was a kid, there was the original trilogy, and then the prequel trilogy, and there was the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, and the Christmas special, and the books, and the...
You know, the good news is, when I was young, there were not so many movies. I actually saw Empire and Jedi in theaters. And so when I was young, there wasn't as much, but at least what we had was good.
I like the prequel.
So actually,
also, the Clone Wars is
technically...
really good.
Technically,
I will give you some of the
Jason...
Clone Wars is pretty good.
As a child, I also watched the original 3 in theaters, but they were the high def.
I watched the
re-release
too.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the episode.
Oh, and then there's a Ford vehicle called a Thunderbird.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
And I guess you know how I am about Power Rangers. We've had this conversation before.
Just so you know, actually, Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod, an immortal from the Highlander series.
We're renting again. Got it.
He drove a Ford Thunderbird.
Really?
Yes. Not renting.
Okay, never mind.
The Ford Thunderbird.
Okay, you brought it back. You brought it back way cleaner than I thought it was going to go.
Thunderbird before I talk
It was
about Power
a
Rangers.
midnight blue Ford Thunderbird. Very beautiful car.
Well, the original Power Rangers from Bandai.
Oh, that's gorgeous. What the heck? I want one.
Did you look it up?
Yeah, I want a Thunderbird.
Duncan MacLeod's?
No, just all of them. They're pretty.
Yeah, they are. They're nice.
Perry Mason would have driven one of those. Anyway, and then the last fun fact I have is apparently the Power Rangers Mystic Force motif
Is a
on their helmet
Thunderbird.
is a Thunderbird.
Yeah.
We all know I haven't seen any Power Rangers. I just put that in there because I thought it was a fun
There's
fact.
one behind you.
Oh God, I'm scared of their lips.
Too bad he's going to kiss you.
You! No!
Now we got to make her watch all of the Power Rangers.
I'm
All
not a
of
huge
them.
fan.
There's
I'm
so
not a
many,
big.
though.
I'm not a good Power Ranger. You get my wife.
I will watch
My
Power
wife loves
Rangers
Power
as
Rangers.
Heck yeah.
long as you don't make me
Kiss one?
watch freaking the one where...
Zeo?
Nope. The
Yes.
fucking the
one with the big lips.
the one where they turn into animals and it's scary
Oh, okay, not that one. Yep.
because the transformation is scary.
You would not have liked Animorphs.
That's what I'm talking about. Animorphs is scary.
Okay, so this has been the Arkins Hearth, our first episode of the second season, brought to you by Not Dead Yet Productions.
Are we actually done?
I don't have any more about Thunderbirds, but I can keep talking.
We're on Patreon. We are starting to do the $5 tier.
Are you going to tell our members that you love them?
So, Patreon subscribers, I've already said your names once. I'm just going to tell you, I love you. Thank you. I appreciate you so much.
Yes, we do. Thank you so much for all of the support you give us, and thanks to RSS for being our platform.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry, I was looking at the ceiling.
That's okay.
There's a Power Ranger.
Thank you very much, all of our listeners. We always appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Arkins Hearth. We will hope to see you next time. Thorn, you and me.
Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.
Good night.